Okay, I watched CSI too, and I watched all of the crime things where they gave us words like narcissism or all of these different names where they classify people into categories, right? And so I got around this on TikTok again, the narcissists. These are what narcissists do. These are what narcissist parents, narcissist fathers, narcissist husbands, narcissist children's, narcissist just... What is a narcissist? You know, I haven't done all of the textbook. I'm autodidactic, and I'm just a person that looks at people and behaviors and sees how they react, and it basically just... Now there may be people, like if you go to CSI, you know, if you're going to those that are truly soulless individuals, don't have feelings, don't have a conscience, I'm sure there are those people. And they have done MRIs and all of the different things in the brain, right? Like to show that certain people don't think in certain areas, right? But is that everybody they're calling a narcissist? Because I think most moms that raised their kids in the 80s and the 90s are being called narcissists. And most dads are, and husbands are. Or could that be cultural programming instead of a flaw in the human being themselves? Because as I've noticed, especially over the last couple of years, people growing a lot. Because we've had things like TikTok and YouTube and all of these social medias that's made us aware of certain habits that we have, certain qualities that we have been expressing all of our lives that we need to work on, that we never realized about ourselves. And all of those narcissistic people have been working on these qualities that the parents and the kids and the children and whoever all labeled them as being defective, having no feelings whatsoever, are now starting to make videos about their realization into narcissism. And like, what is narcissism? You know, these labels we give is just, to me personally, as I look at all of what's going, because you can categorize me as a narcissist many times during my life. Really, narcissism means I just take care of myself. I want to make sure that I'm going to live, I'm going to be eating, I'm going to take care of myself. Might be a little selfish sometimes. I have been a narcissist. I have been. And I have not been a narcissist as well. I've been feeling, and I've had, and some people who met me at a moment in my life made me stick that label on me. But they weren't there when I took in children off the street, when I gave my shirt off of my back. They weren't there when I did the charitable work. You know, that's what Jesus said. He said, you know, don't make it so everybody knows. Don't make your praying in the streets so everybody thinks you're righteous, which just makes you think that you're like, you know, a narcissist kind of stuff. But is there truly somebody that has no feeling? And is it the majority of the mothers out there and the fathers and children that are narcissists? Or is it just immature people that haven't been exposed to it? Because I see a lot of people making a lot of decisions different. Even in my household, I have seen people that, you know, you might have classified as a narcissist over just... You know, what was it? Jordan Peterson did a lot. He did a lot of help making men look at themselves and say, hey. And I've seen like major changes to people that might have been called narcissists in the past, and now seeing caring, loving, understanding that their things that they did is causing the other person to react or hurt, and realizing that maybe I don't want to hurt that person. And maybe I'm not a narcissist when it really comes down to it. Maybe these are just labels that we give to each other so that we can blame somebody. Because when I see on TikTok, it really is a blame game. Especially when men do it. I'm telling you, if you see a man that's talking about narcissism, they have some deep wounds. They need to heal. And they themselves are acting narcissistic. I don't know if it is like we are robots or we're drones, and that would be a narcissist. We are growing immature beings that every single day, if you're not learning something, if you're not self-examining, maybe you are a narcissist. If you don't say, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I could have, when my kids were going through that, maybe I could have done that. Are you doing that? But then you're not a narcissist. No matter whether they want to label you as not, or one way or another, that's their problem. That's their problem and their immaturity and where they are, that they want to label you as something corrupt or wrong, when really you're just growing. And the Bible says, in the Bible it says, a child at 100. I know I wasn't 100 when I was raising my kids, when I was going through my life. I'm 66 this month. I can't wait. And yeah, I have been a narcissist. I have been self-absorbed. I've been self-sacrificing. I've been selfless. I have been everything. I've been angry and obnoxious and ignorant and racist and unkind and loving and sweet. I've had many sides to me. It just depends on the day. And I don't know anybody who has one side of them. Just wait and see what comes next and see how you react. And that's how you learn, really. It's by saying, that wasn't good. I don't need to act like that the next time. And then it comes again and you act like that the next time. And then you work on it harder. It's called learning. Because just because you're not a toddler, you still are. I'm just saying, personality and spiritually, we're always growing and we're always self-examining. Is there really such a